Ever feel like you're constantly trying to catch up with the latest trends and ideas? Like you just need that cheat sheet to get up to speed?
Well, today we're diving into something I think a lot of people are curious about: how to actually make money from a blog. Not just the idea of blogging, but the nitty gritty of turning it into a potential income stream. We've got this guide that breaks it down in really practical terms, which is super helpful.
Yeah, it really gets into the mechanics of it. It's one thing you hear people say, oh, start a blog, share your passion. But this goes beyond that. It actually lays out a framework for how to potentially monetize that passion, which I think is what a lot of folks are really interested in.
Totally. So, our mission today is to sift through this document and pull out the most important and actionable steps. We want you to walk away from this deep dive not feeling overwhelmed, but actually feeling like, okay, I get it. I see how this could work.
Exactly. Clarity and actionable insights are what we're aiming for. So let's jump in. The first thing this guide stresses is the absolute foundation of any successful blog. And this makes total sense. It's passion. It says right here, pick a topic you're passionate about. It seems obvious, but I think people sometimes skip over this step.
Yeah, they get caught up in what they think is trending or what they think will make money quickly.
Exactly. And then they fizzle out
Uh-huh.
because they're not truly invested in the topic. So the document asks these really good questions to get you thinking. Things like, what do I love to talk about? And what am I really good at?
Those are great starting points. What do people actually ask you for advice about? Where do you find yourself naturally gravitating in conversations?
Right. That even gives some concrete examples just to spark ideas. It could be anything from like reviewing your favorite books and movies to, if you're a foodie, sharing recipes or restaurant experiences.
Exactly. Or maybe you're really into fitness, you could talk about that, or DIY projects, or fashion.
Ooh, or even just telling your own life stories. Like everyone has unique experiences. That could be a blog in itself.
Absolutely. The point is, almost any area of genuine interest has the potential to become a blog that resonates with others.
Okay, so you found your passion, you're fired up. Now what? Well, naturally, you need to set up your blog. The document highlights some free platforms that are pretty user-friendly. You've probably heard of these: Wix, WordPress, bloggers.
Yeah, those are all great options for getting started, especially if you're not super techy.
Right, it keeps the barrier to entry pretty low. And then it mentions some basic but important stuff, like choosing a catchy blog name, something that sticks in people's minds.
And making sure the design is clean and easy to navigate. You don't want people getting lost or frustrated trying to find information.
And of course, that all-important About Me page, that's where you really get to connect with your readers, let them know who you are and what your blog is all about.
Yeah, that's your chance to make a first impression and build that sense of trust and authenticity. Let people know why they should care about what you have to say.
Okay, so your blog is up and running, you're sharing your passion, but now the big question: how do you actually make money from it? And the document breaks down several monetization methods. First up, advertisements.
The good old ads. Yeah, we see them everywhere online.
Exactly. So the document talks about placing ads on your blog, maybe through something like Google AdSense. Basically, you get paid a small amount every time someone clicks on an ad.
It's like a pay-per-click model. The more traffic you have, the more potential clicks you get, and the more you can potentially earn.
Right, it's all about those eyeballs on your content. But it also mentions affiliate links, which is something I find really interesting.
Yeah, affiliate marketing can be a pretty effective way to monetize a blog, especially if you're recommending products you genuinely use and love.
Exactly, like the document gives examples of promoting clothes, books, art supplies, anything you think your audience would be interested in. And the cool thing is you use a special link, and if someone clicks through and buys the product, you get a commission.
It's like getting a little thank you for sending business their way.
And then there's sponsored posts. This is where companies actually pay you to create content featuring their product or service.
Yeah, it's like a more direct partnership. But the document really emphasizes the importance of staying true to yourself here.
Oh, absolutely. It says to only promote things you genuinely like and believe in. Otherwise, you risk losing that trust you've built with your audience.
Yeah, you don't want to come across as just a shill for any brand that throws money at you. Your readers can spot inauthenticity a mile away.
And finally, the document talks about selling your own products.
Yeah.
This is where you can really get creative.
Yeah, this is where you can really leverage your expertise and create something unique and valuable.
It suggests things like ebooks, maybe compiling a collection of your best blog posts into a downloadable guide, or printable coloring pages or planners if you're into that sort of thing.
Or even physical merchandise like T-shirts, stickers, even digital art prints. It all depends on your niche and what your audience might be interested in.
Okay, so you've explored all these different ways to potentially make money, but now you have to, actually maintain and grow your blog. And consistency seems to be a major theme here.
Oh, consistency is key. The document suggests posting regularly, maybe once or twice a week, to keep your content fresh and give people a reason to keep coming back.
It's like building a habit for both yourself and your audience. And it's not just about the words, right? It talks about making your blog visually appealing too, using pictures and fun designs to keep people engaged.
Absolutely. People are visual creatures. A wall of text, no matter how well written, can be intimidating. Breaking it up with images, maybe some fun graphics, makes a huge difference.
It just makes the whole experience more enjoyable.
Mhm.
And then there's the whole community aspect. The document talks about encouraging comments and sharing, really fostering that interaction.
Yeah, building a community around your blog is so important. It's not just about broadcasting your message, it's about creating a dialogue, getting people involved.
Responding to comments, asking questions, even sharing other people's content. It all helps build that sense of connection.
And it expands your reach, too. When people share your posts, it exposes your blog to a wider audience.
But at the end of the day, what really makes a blog stand out is your unique voice. The document emphasizes this a lot, and I think it's so true.
Absolutely. There are millions of blogs out there. What makes yours special is your perspective, your personality, your way of looking at the world.
It's what makes people connect with you on a personal level,
Yeah.
and it's what keeps them coming back for more.
It's what makes you, authentic and relatable. And in a world of increasingly curated online personas, that authenticity is so refreshing.
The document also throws in a dose of reality, which I appreciate. It says, stay positive, blogging can take time. Don't expect to become an overnight sensation or start raking in cash right away.
Yeah, it's important to manage those expectations. Building a successful blog takes effort, it takes consistency, and it definitely takes time.
But the potential is there. The more you put into it, the more you connect with your audience, the more opportunities might start to open up.
And ultimately, it's about doing something you're passionate about. If you enjoy the process, if you're genuinely excited to share your thoughts and ideas, that passion will shine through and attract people to your blog.
So for our listeners who are, the learn it fast type, this document actually includes a fun activity section, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I like that. It gets you taking action right away.
It suggests brainstorming 3 blog ideas that you're truly excited about, and then actually drafting your first blog post. It could be about anything, a hobby you enjoy, a funny story that happened to you, anything that you think would resonate with others.
It's about getting those creative juices flowing and seeing what comes out. Sometimes the best ideas come from just starting to write, even if you don't know exactly where you're going with it.
And then to really get you in the mood, it even suggests using Canva, that online design tool, to create a logo or banner for your imaginary blog.
That's a fun way to visualize it, to start bringing it to life in your mind. And Canva is super easy to use, even if you have zero design experience.
So there you have it. The takeaway from this deep dive is that turning your passion into a blog, and potentially even making money from it, isn't some far-fetched dream. It's doable. And this guide lays out the steps in a way that's clear and actionable.
Exactly. It all starts with identifying your passion, setting up your platform, exploring those different monetization methods, and consistently creating and engaging with your audience, all while letting your unique voice shine through.
And on that note, here's a final thought to leave you with. What story, what knowledge, what perspective do you have that the online world might be waiting for?
What unique value can you bring to the table? Something to ponder as you embark on your own blogging journey.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll be featuring your blog on this very show.
Wouldn't that be something?
Until then, keep learning, keep creating, and keep diving deep.